No, but like we were just saying a little bit earlier. Oh, actually, yeah, we are getting ready to start the race, so we'll get into a little bit of what we were saying a little bit earlier about how we're starting off with about like the like the upper echelon, the top tier, if you will. All these competitors that we see right here are actually have that sub hour. So they've definitely practiced through many different attempts. You know, in the hundreds even of attempts and completions. So yeah, like I said, like things are gonna be a little bit slow to start off with, but you do have to uh, be really mindful of platform and execution.
Yeah, so you're seeing just some tiny short jumps where normally you do a full size jump. If you were just playing casually, you'll see people just trying to get those jumps as short as possible. So the next jump in the row is just that few seconds, a few milliseconds faster because they're hitting the platform and re-jumping. They're saving just that tiny amount of time, but it all adds up.
All right, heading up toward the geothermal towers. At the end of almost every chapter, you're gonna be seeing a boss, and you're gonna be seeing a pretty prominent like weapon upgrade to be displayed. And possibly showing off a couple of these damage boosts that I was talking about a little bit earlier. Yep, there we go. It definitely takes a lot less time just you know, damage boosting and dealing with that big brute there than slicing them on down. So very nice there.
They do take a few hits, and it would take quite some time. Instead, we just jump straight through it.
Mhm. And we're gonna also like kind of like trickle feed you folks viewing a little bit of like the mechanics and like the sort of like methodology and etymology behind like all this all these techniques. We understand that like this game might be meant for speed running, or we feel like it might be meant for speed running, but there's a lot of the casual base that like like don't really know like the like the certain terminology or anything like that. So if at any point we'll it comes to a time that we can bring it up, we'll definitely will.
This is the Smasher. This is the first mid-boss that we're going to be seeing. So most levels, as well as having a main boss at the end, there are mid-level bosses, and they just present some obstacle to get past rather than kind of gatekeeping the end of the level. We're seeing the first upgrade, which is a full health point upgrade.
Yeah, this is a little bit of like a test, like a test of like what you learned so far in the early stages. Like, okay, you've learned how to jump and slice. Now, beat the jumping and slicing, victory condition. A very nice damage boost by 2C right there, and everyone's gonna be taking that. Yep. Now, hopefully, we don't see it from either of these runners here, but if they do, however, like die or get casted into the pits below, they are doing some checkpoints there, so you can respawn to that checkpoint. But hopefully, nothing that grave happens in these early stages, especially since there's a lot of vertical platforming. There's a lot of platforms that rotate on specific cycles, if you will. And if you take a trip, take a fall, that could definitely waste a lot of time. Hey, skippable cutscenes, thank you.
Here's the first boss, the apparator.
Yeah, if you actually try to cheese him out behind him, he notices there's a little bit of dialogue change with it.
In fact, there is an achievement for finishing. I'm not sure if it's just this fight or if it's any fight, but without using the backstab. because you do deal extra damage from behind.
Mash through some text here. All right, they're going to be picking up their first power up, which is a shuriken, long range attack, and now they'll be able to use their SP that you see on the top left corner of the screen. They start out with 5. They're probably in chapter 2. They're going to be picking up another upgrade that'll increase it to 6.
So speaking again about that backstab mechanic, these guys with the green backpacks, if you slash their backpacks, you will kill them in 1 hit.
Yeah, I think they take like 4 or 5 from the front. Like it's
Yeah.
they're pretty arduous. And chapter 2 is the introduction to a lot of instant kills. The mechanics of instant kills in this game. Nothing is safe. You can pretty much assume.
Yeah, well, those blocks are falling into the little munchers at the bottom. They will kill you in 1 hit. As soon as you touch those, that's an instant death.
Yeah, but very nice utilizing the damage boosting from the debris falling in order to make it through some pretty arduous segments there.
Yeah.
Oh,
and this laser.
Fortunately, we got a first step from 2 to see that laser is a laser.
I'm not going to call commentator's curse on that one because the death had already happened by the time I'd said it, but that laser is a 1-hit kill, as 2C's just demonstrated. So some of those checkpoints actually double up as shops where we can buy upgrades. And some of them won't heal you. So when you hit the checkpoint, some of them won't heal you, and you have to buy that as an upgrade to that checkpoint.
Yeah, for the casual playthrough, you definitely have to have like some sort of like routing involved with the currency of this game in order to increase your survivability. Good old use of the blade extender though. It's extending the hitbox of that blade. Really, really nice when trying to be safe against those bosses. All right, everyone, to that auto scroller segment, that little like intermission track. I just have to point out the music is just so grand in this game. Release the OST. Yeah, everyone getting through that laser brain mini boss pretty quickly. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to like, you know, the starting being like a little bit slow, but as you're kind of like trickle fed these mechanics, these extra sub weapons and these abilities, oh, you're going to see these folks zooming. Which chapter has your favorite music? I really like this stage. I want to say chapter 5 though. Chapter 5 is a banger as well.
Actually, I think I like chapter 1's music.
It's really good anthem like music. I feel like
Yeah,
I really like it.
It's difficult to pick a favorite because how do you pick the best when they're all so good?
I'm taking some nicks here and there from the falling debris, but it's okay. This reminds me of like the Blizz Wolfang from Mega Man X6. But here we go. We got Big Daddy on the mind as he tries to flex and ground pound. That's right, the Scrambler, but the Scrambler is not done yet. He's going to be popping out of that Big Daddy tank. Look at that. But very nice repeated use of that slash, and he goes down pretty quickly. It's really easy to Just kind of like short hop through that ground, or not through, but away from that ground pound to begin with. Just kind of like stay close and you'll get it. But the reward for that is Rising Fire. There's a lot of ways to use that ability when trying to traverse through long gaps, or even like have that little mini half jump. Even there's gonna be a lot of creative ways to use that, or you can use that as a complete DPS tool, like you'll see a little bit later in the stages.
It's worth noting this is the first ability that we can use without SP. There is a weaker version of the attack that if you have no SP, you can still use it. So you can still strike downwards, you can still break barriers, and that sort of thing. But it is weakened. For now, it's the first one. But there is talk of a weakened version of the shuriken being added in the next patch.
Really?
Yep. So it will go less distance and deal less damage.
Oh, we're just shooting blanks now. That's great. I shall stop you and kill you, my enemy. Ow. Ow. That hurt. But at least you can use it as a distraction to get him with your close quarters actual sword. I'm just reminded of, like NES Castlevania, just piece of rope Simon Belmont. He's just consecrated in holy water or something. All right, and with this being a group stage, we're gonna be slowly rotating all the participants like in and out. So we're gonna be bringing in Mini on the top left. They're just making their way through the beginning of this chapter. karterfreak and Roll looking extremely on pace and on par for the course. And again, the way that these group stages work, so we split those participants in 2 groups, and the top 2 of those groups will proceed in to the top 4. The top 4, and then we'll have an elimination match between them for the semifinals, and then the grand finals will duke it on out, the final 2. So it's gonna be elimination, kind of like a battle royale like sense, but you just gotta make it to the end in order to have a chance at qualifying.
It's been pointed out in chat that the dev calls it a limp shuriken. I'm not sure what to make of that myself.
It's a paper pinwheel. We'll call it that. All right, making extreme work of that tank.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It wouldn't be a retro ninja platformer without fighting some kind of tank with guns. It reminds me very much of Revenge of Shinobi.
All right, you can see the powered up version of that rising fire. And just having that spread of 3 fireballs, I would say. You get all of them to hit. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, we will be seeing that in an upcoming boss.
Oh, I honestly can't wait. Some of these later bosses just require such finesse, especially in a one-time setting. This being, the one night only special and all.
Yeah, either finesse or a lot of swearing and failures and trying again. As was my experience, at least.
Oh no, I'm sure that was a lot of folks' first time experiences.
Yeah,
and it kind of taps into that retro difficulty while like urging you to eventually best this obstacle. Like it's not an unfair difficulty. It's a pretty nice Yeah, it's pretty nice, especially when you get the swag blade. And coming up, karterfreak is going to be heading toward the bio hunter. Going to be using that swag blade and just, yeah, it's a rubber bandy sort of like momentum. So you kind of got to work with it. You kind of got to work your hips a little bit. The left, right, the up, down. You can also influence it by hitting it with your sword. Oh my lord. Very swag kill there by karterfreak.
So we're seeing Eric 33 swapped into the bottom left corner now.
Right. I don't know if Strizer has a bracket command for the challenge, but I will grab the link for y'all. It's just challenge.com/CS ONOT. But instead of making sense of that, I'll just link that to the chat. And again, throughout the run, we're gonna be slowly rotating in a lot of the other players as well. Because shout outs to the speedrun community. This game had only just come out, you know, but there are so many people that are dedicated to their craft, dedicated to optimizing their movements and strats, and honestly the consistency. So you got it, you know, shout outs to the community.
Yeah,
Very
there were
nice
people.
fast fall technology there too. Sorry, go ahead.
There were people already planning on speedrunning this long before it came out. We had some. I think there were some Ninja Gaiden runners who really wanted to play this. Or certainly there were some messenger runners. I know. I mean, that's where I know Strizer from. So I mean, 2C Carter. Also messenger runners, Cuphead runners. There's a lot of interest in any kind of particularly difficult platformers, and we seem to have people interested from those communities. So we knew long before this came out it was going to be a speed game.
When it comes to like games that Yacht Club had already published, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
like we already knew quality games.
Yeah, I completely forgot Shovel Knight. A lot of interest from the Shovel Knight community as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, and third major power up. I mean, people have definitely grabbed it, but it's worth mentioning. You get to climb on walls now. It's a Mega Man X style wall climb. So now you're going to be seeing a whole bunch more movement options opened up to these players using that, you know, that quick res or fast fall technology. Like there's just a lot of movement to be noted, and definitely in like the later stages you're going to be seeing a little bit of, oh, okay, we got a death warp going on here. Very, very nice. And those are allowed. It's not a glitch, it's a feature.
All right, we're seeing Patch bottom right corner now.
Yes, and if you enjoy what you see so far from these competitors, please, as we rotate them out, toss up their Twitch page and give them a follow, especially if you like this fast indie gaming speedrunning action. You really gotta, especially in trials like these, you gotta kind of like control your swag blade. You want to make those jumps with those destroyable candles.
Just getting our first glimpse of the cyberspace sections there. Quite a surreal part of this game.
They really, especially in the later stages, like some of the environments are just incredibly trippy.
Yeah, I would play a game that was just that.
Well, Cyber Shadow 2 when? Or DLC extensions when? I would like a sort of like VR missions sort of kind of like mode with like a whole bunch of like trials and challenges set in that environment.
But this very much reminds me of Ghost Runner, which has a similar sort of thing, where that's a 3D.
Oh, Ghost Runner is so sick.
But it has those same kind of cyberspace elements as well. You go into cyberspace, you kind of hack yourself and gain these new abilities. And it's interesting, those games weren't released that far apart, so it's not like one influenced the other, but we're seeing very similar themes.
Yeah, it's a nice I guess like result of different perspectives of what we enjoyed in gaming growing up, you know?
Yeah.
All right, very nice use of that. Like again, like just like another hop, especially with these being electrified platforms and all. All right, now we got a fresh cast right here, just slowly rotating folks out throughout the blocks. You are going to be seeing some of these players rotated back in. But again, giving everyone their shine, and honestly, like it's really nice seeing the sort of like varied strats between all these different competitors.
Yeah, it's great seeing this kind of huge variety in tournaments. We did something similar for the Messenger and had one huge free-for-all race. And just seeing the kind of differences between people's approaches to the game, it's a really kind of interesting thing to see. You'll see the same problem approached in different ways.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yep, and those like the instant death hazards, like the lava and like spikes. It's kind of like retro like Mega Man 1 in a way, where it's like, you know, even if you wanted to like brute force and damage boost, you couldn't even do that.
Yeah, don't even look at a spike.
All right, so the cast that we have on right now are pretty seasoned members of the speedrunning community. They're also grinding for that sub hour, like as we speak. Who knows? It might happen in a tournament one of these days. I do see a gold split on SpaceNarc's stream, so you're seeing a lot of improvement just off the sheer consistency alone. The fact that this game hadn't even gotten to like just under sub hours, just in such a small amount of time, it's just so fascinating. But here comes one of the bosses right here that might turn things on their heads. Good old Mecha Dragon.
Yeah, I remember when I was saying we're going to see the Rising Fire used quite extensively against the boss.
Mm-hmm.
This is that.
So yeah, trying to farm for that SP so you can just get multiple repeated uses of that. We want to call that normal Rising Fire, EX Rising Fire, like looking pretty powerful. You know, pretty nice drops for the SP as well. I just really love this strat. It's like, you want to eat something, eh? Hey, well, eat this, eh? Like, it's so great. Because in my casual playthrough, I just did the pogo for like maybe like 30 minutes, 40 minutes straight. All right, absolutely so great. SpaceNarc with a pretty clean kill there. We got our other competitors going up to the Mega Dragon. SpaceNarc heading up to the second trial.
Eric's taken an unfortunate death there.
Yeah. All right, Patch getting through onto the shrine. And many bringing up as well. Yeah, quite unfortunate to travel all the way back to that Mecha Dragon. Would rather not. All right, so through this shrine completion, they do have another rather, I guess, augmented ability. It's just attack power. This is your level 2 katana. You have stronger base damage per swing. You have ability to destroy walls with 2 dots, signifying, you know, level 2 access here. So it opens up some other areas of the maps throughout the chapters. It's worth noting, especially in the casual playthrough, that like when you do have all these upgrades, you can revisit the chapters and, you know, kind of like, you know, leave no stone unturned, you know.
Yeah, there are things to find.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of Easter eggs here as well, some things you might recognize from other works of fiction.
Ooh, uh-oh. It's this guy again. He's like, I told you you shouldn't have attacked me from the back. Now look at you.
I think the surreal thing about the Mecha Dragon is that is the mid-boss for this chapter.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. Because, I mean, in my opinion, it's much harder than the actual boss. This boss was quite easy.
Yeah, this is more of like a, you know, like I guess like strictly like lore boss, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Oh, now you're gonna start seeing things getting a little bit icky. But look at that fast fall technology from the SpaceNarc. I love that. I'm really glad they put that fast fall in there. Like, it makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah, so things have gotten a little bit Metroid.
And soon it's going to be a lot more in a fighting game sense. Patch just picked up the parry. There are parries in this game. And in recent patches, they even improved the parry in this game. This is where things start getting a little bit wild, especially for taking down a lot of these enemy mobs, burning down this boss HP. So great. Uh-oh. Oh, he's got it. It's almost a little bit of a platform in pickle there.
It's one of the great things about having a developer that's so in touch with the community, is that we see improvements all the time. We found the same with the Messenger, that having this conversation with the developers and you find things get improved. Pretty much every time there's a patch, there's improvements that have come specifically from the community. And so now there's a visual cue on the parry, so you can see where your parry is, where the kind of hitbox on the parry is. There's this blue shield that pops up for a brief moment. That wasn't there in the original version of the game. And the game's been out, what, a few weeks now? And we're seeing these improvements.
Yeah, it's really great when you're able to have that sort of dialogue, you know, like consumer to dev to consumer. And it's also a little bit easier when it's sort of like a small, you know, indie team as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shout outs to Mecha Skull, and shout outs to Yacht Club Games for publishing this. Like, yeah. Look at that improved parry. Like, so a lot more of the visual cue in the casual players can be a lot more aware, a lot faster about how to utilize it more effectively.
And I think more confident too. I think people will go for a parry more frequently if they know how it works, where it's going to make contact.
Yeah, because this game's already like, I don't want to touch that thing as it is. So if there's like a sort of like realm of safety, you know, for the parry, like it bodes, you know, experimenting with it.
Yeah, because how you parry in this game is to tap towards an incoming projectile. And that's kind of intuitively what you don't want to do.
Especially like when a lot of these ones, especially for like Subject Alpha, right? Like a lot of these projectiles are like extremely huge. Or like, can I? Like, could this be like a non-parryable thing? Are there non-parryable things in this game? You know? Alpha mad. Yeah, so like, yeah, with the game like giving you like a handful of things now, able to, you know, have freedom of movement and able to parry stuff, like you're starting to feel a lot more powerful, and yeah, in turn a lot more confident with it. But we've only just begun. That's the thing. We're only in chapter 5. And at the end of this chapter, do things get extremely wild and extremely fast. So here we go, SpaceNarc coming up to Alpha 2, and you get to see a lot of the graphical inspirations to a lot of like the NES platformer bosses.
Yeah, I think this is our first background boss, isn't it? Which, you know, NES era, that was how you made something look big and scary, was you put it in the background.
And I'm so glad that they used that a little bit more in this game, because it really sets the tone in such a like kind of like a simple manner. Like obviously you can't see any of this thing, so you're like, oh man, that's fucking huge. Like that is absolutely gigantic, magnanimous.
This thing wants to hurt you. That's kind of that's the general attitude. Is this thing is out to get you, and it probably will. It's probably going to succeed.
All right, we have both Mini and Patch end up on Alpha V2. But here's the thing that I want to point out. SpaceNarc, through that shrine, had gotten, that's right, the zippy shoes. That's right. You can put one foot in front of the other twice as fast now. Oh no, unfortunate death there. But you can put one foot in front of the other twice as fast now. Look at this. Leaps and bounds, my friends. This is where things get really nice with the platforming, and a lot more risky as well.
Yeah, it makes it much easier to eat spikes.
And there's a way that you can chain these dashes, so like you're just perpetually just at that dash speed, retaining that dash speed, having that jump. Like it's so nice, and you're gonna be seeing that especially right around now. This is another really good stage music, but like all the stage music is good, but I just like this one.
So I'm not sure if you saw what Mini just did, but chaining the dash jump and then the down strike as well.
Yes.
So that downward strike, whether you're using it with SP or without, increases height to your jump. So I'm not gonna lie, this laser section was painful for me.
Well, it's a good thing that we can now see the full like utility of this dash, how sort of like uncatchable it makes you, and how it's used to preserve this momentum, especially through all of these death traps. Amazing. Like yeah, if I were as skillful as these players as they are now in my first time, then this stage would not have been a problem. But it's really nice to have these sort of like, you know, obstacles, and have these, you know, sort of things that impede you, because you already are the Cyber Shadow. You already are a badass, if you will. Now you just need to have a little bit of no fear into it. Coming up to the tunnel cleaner.
This is a ridiculously fun boss. It's difficult, but it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, just making use of all of those parries and just putting it right back in his face. And now it's easier because they buffed the parry. Thank you, Mecha Skull. Thank you, Mecha Skull.
Another full HP upgrade there.
All right, SpaceNarc, the first of the featured to that we're getting to see this chapter 7. We got Pat bringing it up with Tunnel Cleaner, and we got some more rotations in the group stage. For those of you that are just tuning in, again, this is the Cyber Shadow any percent one night only tournament. We have around 15 people divided into 2 groups, ready to duke it out in multiple stages of any percent Cyber Shadow. Again, we are doing group stages in the top 2 to finish with the highest, or rather the lowest time, but highest on the leaderboard rather. We'll move on to the semifinals, our top 4. So we are looking to a lot of consistency for the players. So SpaceNarc is unfortunately taking that down there. I'm sorry, that was, it happens, you know.
Yeah. Oh, and this area, if you there are wall spikes and you're dashing, and it is very easy to just faceplant those spikes.
Yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, again, for those not familiar with Cyber Shadow, this is an indie game. Oh, unfortunately, this is an indie game just recently released, published by Yacht Club, made by Mecha Skull, and it's a pretty nice ninja slashing package. Really retro platforming and difficulty as well, inspired by Shadow of the Ninja and like Mega Man, or sorry, not Mega Man, Batman on the NES. Sorry, I just had a little bit of Mega Man vibes watching the parry projectiles there. But it's really, you can really notice it through like a lot of like the color palettes and the music, and you know, Shadow of the Ninja had that nice platforming to begin with. Chapter 7 is where things just like are in the way for absolutely no reason. However, I mean, but again, you already are the cyber ninja. You got the dash, you got, you know, a little half jump there, you got the fast fall, you got a shuriken. You should be feeling pretty powerful by now, right? Well, not if anything and everything will stand in your way, including sentient bubbles of goop. But you can see that powerful usage of the SP dash, like being able to just rapid chain them, retain that dash speed, and sometimes, well, in some segments of this game, you are going to be, you know, trying to have a nice amount of SP. I think for like the next stage, rather. Oh, that was almost pretty grievous. Chad is asking, where is best to buy this game? Wherever you see fit, I feel. There are actually certain differences that Strizer clued me in on when it comes to like speed running this game. But if you just want to have it for the casual ride, I would honestly have this on the Switcho. Have it portable. Pull it out, you know, when the world does become safe again, like, hey, I can bring this over and show my friends and blah 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 blah. But it is available on Sony consoles, on Xbox consoles, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. And a lot of these players are running on the Steam PC category or platform, or that does not, you know, bar the console versions from being, you know, speedrun legal or anything like that. They're all pretty perfect packages. Pretty congruent, besides this very one thing that I want to pull up, and Strizer can correct me like in the later stages, but basically on the console versions of Cyber Shadow, it runs at a straight 60 frames a second, you know, like v-synced up and all that stuff. On PC versions, you can have it run to, I don't know if it's unlocked frame rates, but definitely higher than 60 frames. I'm going to say, like, at a safe bet, 144 hertz, right? And you can actually slice faster, like slightly faster on those higher frame rates. On the console versions, however, you can utilize in the early stages what's known as a ledge clip. When you, at the apex of your jump, if you're just coming down from it, you have about a 2 to 3 pixel leniency way or something like that in order to clip onto that ledge that you're trying to get onto. So trading a little bit of platforming for a little bit of performance with like the bosses and burning down HP and all that, like it's really marginal. It's really marginal.
Yeah. So our top two. 2C, I believe, runs on 60 FPS, so it takes advantage of that corner clipping. And karterfreak uses, I believe, 144, and takes advantage of the faster slash. I believe that's the right way around. But of those top two, one uses the locked 60 FPS, and one uses the unlocked faster frame rate.
And you'll be. I'm pretty sure this conversation is not ending like yet, especially when the game is like so entirely new. Like,
yeah,
like what the optimal setting for running this is at. But this is all the more reason why, you know, new people that are inquired about, you know, new game speed running like this should be extremely active in the development of the community and like how we shape things here, you know. Oh, but yeah, this chapter and this segment, this is where you need to this is where you need to be on your guard, and you need to have a little bit of a spirit points as well in order to get through this segment. Jumpo reset, just trying to retain that dash speed. Please don't get hit by anything, and boom boom. We'll still call that first try. Yeah, like Dream was saying a little bit earlier, like even though you reach certain checkpoints, you might not get all of the options that are available to you. So like you might not get that SP recovery, and honestly, if you are not focused on like the routing of your currency, you might not be able to purchase that SP recovery to make this segment a lot easier. So not only is there platforming in mind, not only is there a little bit of RNG in mind, there's there's a lot of hoarding your resources to be kept in mind as well. Yeah, we are going to be coming up to the final couple of, or rather, final handful of chapters here. Right after this is where you're probably going to be feeling your most powerful. This is going to be at your absolute peak, and you're going to be yeah, you are the Cyber Shadow now.
So I absolutely love this exo section with the bike.
Yes.
This made me think Shinobi 3. There's the intro segments to each level where there's kind of a very dynamic, very moving. Sometimes you're on a jet ski, sometimes you're on a horse. I think at
on
one point. On
a horse. That horse segment is so great.
And those kind of this is really what I got from this. Just really reminded me of that, where it's a very dynamic. It's an auto scroller, but it doesn't feel like it because you're doing so much.
Yeah, but we've seen a lot of these in very recent indie games as well. Like Katana Zero had a bike segment like this. That was a lot more like arcadey in that sense. Whereas like you brought up the like you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Whereas like part Shinobi 3, I also got a little bit of like Mega Man X bike vibes from like the PSX Mega Man, like Squid Adler from Mega Man X5, because a lot of it can be like pretty punishing as well. Because this is a pretty lengthy bike segment, and like if you die during this bike segment, it's right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Again, slowly rotating all the people that are on this group stage. Again, as we are coming up on the final handful of chapters, want to shine the spotlight on a lot of the speed running community here. So again, if you enjoy any of the entertainment that these competitors have brought you, feel free, head on over to their specific Twitch channels, give them a follow, because I'm sure they're going to be doing a lot more Cyber Shadow any percent to come.
Yeah, with regards to that, we now see Norimaki in the bottom right corner here. Just finishing up on that shrine segment.
Yeah, the Cyber Shadow community comprised of a lot of retro and indie platform speed runs, so pretty close knit in that respect as well. Like, I know a lot of these folks from like Shantae, a lot of these folks from like Bloodstained, a lot of these folks from like even like retro Castlevania-esque indie games, like Messenger even.
Yeah, if you look at the avatar for Strider's channel, you'll see Quabble there from the Messenger. We love the Messenger here.
There we go. This is piloting that orbital frame segment up on SpaceNarc's feed here. It's quite interesting that you don't get a charge function with this orbital frame here, but you get one with like literally like everything else that you pilot.
Yeah, a lot of love for Babu Boys, the messenger speedrun community.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, in this casual playthrough, like you would think this, you know, the return to Mecha City would be like a victory lap, you know, like, oh, we got this powerful frame and we're finally gonna do the thing, but there's a lot more to that.
No, it just means you have more junk to do.
Yeah. Because apparently a parroter. Desolis trying to make the way. 1 HP. Will 1 HP be all they need? Oh my lord. That stuck between a rock and 2 grenades.
Yeah. Oh, that looks awkward.
Just a tad. There we go, Space with the fast fall tech there again. We got level 3 sword. It's a little bit of backtracking that you gotta do.
I don't think we've mentioned that charge, but now every attack has a charged version, so you can charge up your sword, and if you just use the sword, it's a charged attack. You do that 3rd damage that will break through the level 3 doors, but also every one of your abilities has an additional power kind of upgrade, which is used by charging the sword. So you charge your attack, and then if you throw a shuriken, instead of a shuriken, you throw a kunai, which is it goes faster, it deals a little more damage, I think, and then it explodes.
Yeah, that'll like splash damage at the end. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, very useful casualty as well. FoxZerro just showing that off for us.
You know, I see a lot of folks cheering on the respective competitors. Yo, who do you have? Whose back do you have? Spam their emotes and let me know. I love seeing the competitive spirit between these players, but I also love the crowd that they draw, you know? And like, honestly, if you're just here for Cyber Shadow, then there's respect to be had for all of these competitors strutting their stuff right now. Like we have a lot of varied top times here through the community. And honestly, that's extremely Again, for just this game just being like a month or so old, like so great.
I mean, back onto it wouldn't be a Retro Ninja platformer without. Here's the docks level.
Yo, and this music though. Oh, very nice platforming by the SpaceNarc.
Yeah, that's not an easy segment to do.
See Desolis finally mourning the orbital frame there before heading on over. Oh, never mind. That was a while ago. My bad. I was looking at the wrong feed there. Did we mention the double jump and how useful it is, especially at Mecha City docks?
Not at all, no. But that, what you said.
Well, that is a double jump, and it's very useful in the Mecha City docks.
Yeah, I think you've said that actually. Yeah, you mentioned that.
There's no charge double jump as much as I would love it to have a charge double jump.
Like Mario 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then we got this slew of obstacles. This arena here. Love this music.
This is some really fun platforming. So the parry mechanic, a little more about that. When you parry a projectile, it leaves a projectile in front of you that you can slash and fire off. And if you hit it with a charge slash, it will spread out. It will deal more damage. But what we just saw on Desolis' stream was Desolis has been switched out with 2C+, so I don't think 2C's finished. Wow.
Yeah, we gotta. We're gonna do a 3-stage skip here and rotate him on it. Yeah, he's pretty much done. He just gotta, do the story lore thing. But we'll talk about that fight a little later in the run. And actually, as we come up to the semifinals and like the grand finals, you'll be seeing obviously specific players' gameplay in its full form. So we'll be able to talk more about that and what they're doing a little bit later. But again, this is the group stage, and we gotta give credit where credit's due. 2C coming in hot.
Yeah, we'll definitely be seeing 2C in the next stage. So I was talking parry mechanics.
Yeah.
That blue projectile that's left in front of you, you can actually use your rising fire or your upward strike to push that projectile upwards rather than forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just saw, but I think we'd already swapped out by that point. So I don't think that was shown on stream.
Love this progenitor fight. We were just talking about we were just talking about like the background bosses in early NES games and how they were like used to like establish like such a great battle ahead. Like, you know, GG's these competitors. 2C coming in with a 58.41. It looks like Roll had a second time of 59.05. And TKY 619 looking to bring up third. Is that right? Do I have that right?
That looks
I'm looking
right.
at the race GG. Oh, but karterfreak actually doing the done thing at a 1:00:19, hour 19. Yeah. As we're getting fed the times, we'll be shouting them on out. But again, these are in certain groups. So I believe I think that's right. So yeah, we got TKY coming in with a 1:47. Okay, so all right, I got the groups right here. So Group B, karterfreak and Roll are going to be advancing to the semifinals, and of Group A, 2C and TKY 619. So those four competitors are going to be moving on to top 4 in the semifinal bracket of Cyber Shadow Any Percent One Night Only Tournament. And it looks like, did we get a... Yeah. Yeah, really, really great. Did we get a PB during the race? That would be extremely hyped to celebrate.
It's looking like we are.
Oh yeah, it looks like Roll got a PB. Let me double check with the producers. You know, run the numbers. By my calculations, you know, divide this, carry the 2. Wow, that was a really massive PB. If we're going by RTA time, Roll had just gotten down from a 59.57 to a 59.05. What an incredibly beefy PB. Yeah. Yeah, get your congratulations in the chat, and also congratulate Roll on making it to semifinals alongside, again, 2C, karterfreak, and TKY 619. We're gonna be still showcasing a lot of the players still going, because why not? This is Cyber Shadow. This is obviously a really, really cool game, and there's a lot of fine members of the speedrun community that are taking on the challenge of any percent. So hey, if any of this inspires you at viewing this at home to pick up the sticks, one might say, it's only $20. It's free on Xbox Game Pass for the current moment at the time of this recording, and you already know that you'll be entering an extremely welcoming and all-inclusive community that's all about the safety and fun of all of our folks here, and about Cyber Shadow. Have a couple of other people coming up on Progenitor as well. I'm seeing SpaceNarc coming up to Form 2. Got Pat making his way up the tower to Progenitor. Mini just coming in at 5th in the entire race. You know, there's 2 groups, but one entire event for this bracket. So Mini coming in at 105.00 on the Dotto.
It is amazing to see how quickly these times have come down from sort of 2 hours down to we're getting sub-hour times now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, y'all give Strizer, y'all. First of all, y'all ease up on Strizer, and second of all, y'all give Strizer props for bringing us all together for this. But once we get to the semifinals, he won't have to manage 80 some odd Twitch accounts. All right. Then we'll probably get the man on the mic a little bit later to spit some you know, experience and knowledge from run this entire thing. Again, Mini coming up at 105 even on the race timer. SpaceNarc looking to be at like a mid 106 or so. All right, we got some Group B. We're just again swapping out for more Cyber Shadow action here. See Verts on that orbital frame segment. See EGahhd on that bike segment. So on and so forth. All past the stages where you're at your you know, you're at your best. You have all of your abilities. Now the game's just going to be throwing everything at you. The checkpoints are seldom and the deaths are many.
Yeah, this is not a game that wants you to win.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What was like one of your like most arduous segments through either of these like chapters? Like Strider likes to call them death loops. Like what obstacle could you just like not get?
I don't think I struggled particularly on this section. The spider rail boss was probably kind of the the later game gatekeeper for me. The early game was fairly obviously Mecha Dragon. How did you find it? How did you find this section of the game?
So like I said, Mecha Dragon took me like 40 minutes because I did pogo strats. So the reactor stage where, because like it's not like I didn't want to explore everything. I just kept tripping up every like laser trigger and like just getting like overwhelmed, and like I just get so pressured in that moment in time because I already play like so many like roguelikes and like NES classics like Castlevania, where you get met with a bat swarm and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take like 4 damage and like die, might as well give up. But the docks, the docks were fun at the beginning, but like just so much stuff at the end.
Yeah,
I loved the final fights though. I loved the climb up. It just kind of seemed like, you know, you were going to be victorious that round.
Yeah.
And yeah, like once you experiment with that dash, I think that's like the key. Like when you're that powered up, you get that charge, so you have like, again, like those sub weapon augments, you have the double jump, you got that dash, you're like, I want to go through everything, but the game literally does not let you. Oh, you want to dash all the time? Okay, well, you better not dash into a wall of spikes that we just put here. There we go. You see the form one of the progenitor. Just love that nice moving parallax background. Like, it's so nice. Hey, I see a lot of folks in the chat inquiring and kind of mulling about speed running this game. Do it. What's stopping you? Here's the thing, the more that you play, the better you do. And honestly, if you're here watching this tournament, this little one night only event, then you definitely are going to pick up some tricks that you might use in your casual plays or through your speedrun practices. Everyone starts somewhere. Everyone starts somewhere. And let me tell you, it is definitely not easy to get that sub-hour RTA in this game. As long as you're able to adapt, as long as you're able to have those reactions, and again, it's a relatively a short game to dedicate your time to. Then you'll get far. There are even a lot of games that, you know, absolutely was an absolute drag in the casual playthrough. However, through the use of like some, you know, strats and, you know, using speed runs, you can absolutely kick the game's butt. And you want to use that like in like a revenge speed run sort of sense, like.
And if you find yourself struggling with these kinds of games, watch some speedruns and you can learn things that will help you in a casual playthrough. I found that with Mega Man X, with the first Mega Man X. I learned some techniques from the speedrun that I carried over because I'd watched some speedruns and I had so much fun just pulling off a couple of the tricks.
Oh yeah, like what tricks?
No, I'm not sure if it was. I think it was X2 actually with the neon jumps.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, like you probably never would have like found that in like a casual playthrough, just like mashing buttons or whatever, you know.
And the only thing was, I knew it existed, and that was the only reason that I even tried to do it. And it's not that difficult. It's kind of tricky, but it's not that difficult.
But the more that you mess around with that concept and that execution, the better you do at it. And that's just one of the puzzle pieces to speedrunning here.
Yeah, and you learn some of these tricks and you pull them off, and then you go, I wonder what other tricks I can learn. And that's how it starts.
There we go. Eric's finishing at a 1:12:53. Yeah, so we have 8 people finishing so far, so let's go down the list. Again, your 4 qualified competitors for the semifinals of Cyber Shadow. 2C at a 58:41. Then you had Roll with that beefy PB at a 59:05 race time GG timer. Bringing up the final 2 are karterfreak at a 1 hour 19 seconds, and then TKY 619 with an hour 47. So those are going to be your 4 semifinalists. Bringing it up for the top 8, you had Mini with a 105, 105 even rather. You had SpaceNarc with a 107.10. We had Patch with a 109.20. Eric's just finishing with a 1:12:53. Desolis in 9th with a 1:14:18. Again, these are not amateur times at all. If it gives that sort of like implication, get that out of your head right now. Finishing within like hour 30 absolutely incredible, especially for a fresh game like Cyber Shadow. So GG's to all these competitors. And y'all need to get hype for the top 4 semifinals.
So it's been pointed out in chat, there is an achievement to speedrun this game, and the achievement is at 3 hours. So that's what the developer considers fast. And these runners are doing it in a third of that time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here, looks like we got Normaki finishing on up as well. Remind me, what is actual like time on the game again? Because it's after this cutscene, right?
Yeah.
On the fade to black. Thank you.
Oh, I see what you
Okay,
mean.
so all right. I thought it was when you hit the switch, not when it faded black. All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, there we go. GG's. Just a matter of time now. We still got some folks right at it. There goes Normaki with a 1:17.12.
Very respectable time.
All right, we got our last of the groups. We got FoxZerro up, got Verts up, got EGahhd up. Yeah, and again, for those that are just tuning in, this is the one night only tournament for Cyber Shadow 20% hosted on this channel. Again, shout outs to Strizer86 for production of this event. Shout outs to the competitors, the runners, for strutting their stuff. This is a nice community spotlight, not only showcasing the various feats of the speedrunning community, but also the indie speedrunning community in general. Like, just so great at bringing in a lot of retro elements into pretty perfect packages.
FoxZerro just finishing up the final boss there.
There we go. Yep, just finishing up. GG's. Yeah, it's definitely a long time from GG to actual GG, but you know. All right, this will be our final 4 at the moment. Rather 3. FoxZerro just finishing up. Bringing up Dyanketo on the bottom left. Just finishing up a little bit with Mecha City. All right, Vert's up to combat. Combinatron. I always trip myself up when I say that. Like combinatron. Nope, that doesn't sound right. Combinatron. All right, that sounds more 80s retro-esque. Very nice use of the parry there by Vert as well.
I mean, you can just call it the Sigma fight.
Yeah. But I feel like Mecha Skull had gone so through so many like name changes or drafts of like what should we call this boss or something. Settling on Combinatron, I'm gonna try. The name should be said. All right, just don't look down, just don't fall. Very nice usage of the SP. Just getting a little bit more as well. Let's make his way pretty nice.
I love seeing these dashes covering such large areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they knew what they were doing with that dash. But, you know, as we're completing the group stage, let us cheer on our final 3 competitors. This is the final stretch of the game, and it is the most, well, it's a lot of the most difficult of obstacles in short bursts. But these are experts of the game. Let us also let them know that we have their backs and we have a lot of support and love for them. Got Diane coming from the spider rail. And yeah, like if you didn't know like how you were supposed to damage this thing, yeah, you'd probably be stuck at this boss for quite some time.
Even knowing how to do it, I still struggle with this boss. It's not an easy fight.
It really isn't. Oh,
especially when that happens.
Yeah, you get that like that sticky parry knockback. like oh, this is like it's since it doesn't activate vibration on your controller, you have to like visually like simulate it. Nice use of that. Oh, explosive shuriken, bud. Yeah, very nice usage of the charged shuriken. All right. Spider rail down for Dyanketo.
It's very much one of those bosses where you fully expect another phase. and you're so glad when there isn't one.
Here goes that climb. Got Vert's heading on up the spider rail as well. And we got EGahhd on the boat.
It's another one of those retro staples where you have kind of a fixed platform and then everything's coming at you from all angles.
Oh yeah.
For me, that was the Streets of Rage thing. I know that other games did it too, but that was kind of that's what sticks in my mind. Was there were so many elevators in those games.
All right, EGahhd up at the spaceport.
That is
very nice parry.
That was unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth noting this boss does heal itself very quickly.
Oh, EGahhd having enough though. Very,
Nice.
very DPS. Combinatron down. Spider rail down on Vert's side as well. A lot of progress being made between these three competitors. There we go, Dyan with the climb. This build up, especially with like the main theme music, is just so great too. Oh no, unfortunately taking a dive there. Yeah, this climb can be extremely brutal if you have to start up from that point. Now Vert's looking to be a bit more consistent with it. Let's see. right, Verts is in there. Just trying to be, you know, slow and steady winning the race, just making sure you have enough leniency for that that double jump reset, because it is only a matter of time here. Dyanketo bringing it up though. And I seem to have lost Verts' feed.
Yeah, it looks like it's bugging out a little bit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gonna be seeing progenitor skip in a minute soon. Oh, hey, would you look at that? But there we go. Yeah, heading on up to the final podium there. I guess you would say like there are like 3 phases to the fight. In like Mega Man X fashion, this will be like the Velgard one. Apparator for this form, I would say like extremely underwhelming, wouldn't you say?
I found this the hardest section of this fight.
Really?
Yeah, first phase was the hardest for me.
I found this phase to be the hardest for me. And then because you got those like little like special power-ups in the third one, I was like, I'll just wait.
So you can parry literally everything in this phase.
Well, this was with the old parry. No, I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm not gonna make excuses.
Well, I haven't played it since the parry was changed.
No, Bobby just sucked. It's fine.
Well, people have different skills. You found the first phase easy. I found the second phase easy.
Yeah.
Probably because it's not moving around all over the place and I don't have to worry too much about where the enemy is.
Fair enough. All right, we got Dyanketo coming up to a Apparator as well. Oh, almost a little ring out there. You know, you ever play Soul Calibur, that fighting game? Ring out. Or Virtual Fighter, all of them. There we go. Just a slice back and forth with my steel. It's time for the Apparator to be literally blown away. Vert's coming up to second form, Progen. Well, we also have EGahhd at this extremely lengthy segment. It's another grab all your SP and make sure you don't get hit by anything.
Yeah, it's a tricky section.
I love that quick rise DPS. Oh, but Dyanketo's on 1 HP. On Progenitor 1. Oh, there it goes. And as Vert is aiming to get that final charge slash up, there it goes. And that is soon to be GG for Verts. Dyanketo with 1 HP. But I believe that this can happen. I believe that 1 HP is all we need. God, this final boss music is so good. You get nice retro sounds. You get the nice like Chozo chants. You get all that. It's not like an anthem of like gloom and doom, but like, you know, triumph, eventual triumph.
This whole fight is very fitting of an end boss.
Mhm.
It's got that kind of the epic scrolling background and just this kind of whole mutated thing.
Yeah, if this were like a turn-based RPG, I'd be like, is that a Phantasy Star 4 boss? Is that... Dark Falls, is that you? But Dyanketo's gonna come at this with, again, 1 HP is all they need. And again, let's bring in a recap of all of the posted times so far. Again, your top 4 semi-finalists are going to be 2C, finishing in at the group stage with a 58.41. You got Roll with that minute PB, clocking in at a 59.05 on race time. You got karterfreak at an hour 19, and then last TKY619 with an hour 47. Then we got Mini with a 105 even. 6 coming in is SpaceNarc with a 107.10. Then we have Patch with a 109.20. Eric's 33 with a 112.53. Desolis with a 114.18. Norimaki with a 117.12. FoxZerro with a 120.35. Verts 505 just finishing. GG's to you with a 135.41. And we have Dyanketo just about to press that dot done fairly soon.
Can we just talk about that phase 2? Yeah, Strizer's just dropped in chat. We can unclench that. Single HP phase 2 was ridiculous.
Yeah, massive GG. Like if not only were you able to do it with 1 HP, but like with all the pressure on in a tournament, like in a one-shot setting, like that is no easy feat. On it looks like we got another PB for by about 50 seconds by Vert. So massive GGs. Dyanketo coming in with a 137.58 GGs. EGahhd just taking down the spider rail, so it's only just a matter of time.
Dyanketo, I really hope you have a record of that and you submit that, you get that on the leaderboard. Get yourself on there because we don't have a leaderboard time for you yet and we want to see it.
I honestly really do want to review that fight again. Like that probably will be like one of the highlights for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That was
all the pressure was on, you know? Yeah, you hear me, Strizer? You gotta make a highlights clip. Make a highlights clip. All right, we gotta EGahhd just kind of like zooming past that climb. Zooming past that climb. All right, checkpoint was right there. Exit stage right. But here we go. Nice dash jumping. And again, I just really love the tone that the music sets here. Oh, trying to use them to boost and very successful with it. Very nice. Just gotta refine the footing. Oh, that's so smart. That's so smart by EGahhd. And again, only a matter of time. All competitors finishing this game in under 2 hours. And you said it was 3 hours at least for the achievement?
For the achievement, yeah.
So these are all just absolute pros, honestly. Again, congratulations to the top 4, but honestly, props to everyone that made a difference here with showing off like the varied skill levels and varied techniques that each and every one of these participants show off. It especially needs to be said. Oh, very nice phase 1. Very nice phase 1. And again, it should be said that no one starts like a world record holder or a top 5 or a top 10 or anything like that. The more you play, the better you do. And if you're having fun, then that's an insane plus. All right, EGahhd up to Progenitor. Gonna have a nice amount of HP over because yeah, didn't pick him up from Parator, so very nice. Now comes the Dark Falls again. Oh, just he knows the techniques. Yeah, the EGahhd just showing a little bit off for the crowd here. And this is how it is done. Oh, this is how it is done. Taking a little bit of risk here because you have more than enough HP to do so. And that charge up slash will be it. Just one more. Or we'll carve our path up there. Just one more and there we go. Progenitor down. GG's again. Everyone finishing in at least under an hour 50. That is right.
Absolutely spectacular gameplay. And spectacular is the word.
Indeed, really glad we got to show off all these competitors and all these runners, and because again, like you see, like some might be able to pull off that tech, like you just saw EGahhd here do. Really glad we were able to show that off. But would you believe me if I said that this is not it? This is not the end of the Cyber Shadow event, because we do still have 2 exciting matches, semifinals and grand finals here for y'all, with a whole bunch more gameplay. That's right, there's more. But wait, there's more. EGahhd finished it in. Everyone finishing at under an hour 45. EGahhd coming on up with an hour 44. And that Having a speed run race where everyone finishes like so quickly. Amazing race, amazing runs, and we're not done.